Hello and welcome once again to a particular discussion topic in cancer biology. So today, what I think it's very interesting to understand how the cancer cells are different from normal cells, or you can say healthy cell. My dear friend, all of us, we know that cancer cells are self-abnormal cells. And these self-abnormal cells has certain attributes in the form of infinite proliferation, distinctive metabolic adaptations, genetic and epigenetic alterations, invasiveness, metastasis, and many more attributes. And in fact, huge literature is available that help us to understand how the cancer cells are unique and abnormal compared to the healthy cells. But today I would like to give you a very distinct perspective, specifically for cancer cells, where the cancer cell could be described as, if I can use here the annotation, that multitaskers, and in a very unique way, it can be also explained as cancer cells are better jugglers over normal or healthy cells. So these two terminology, that is multitaskers and efficient jugglers, attributes of cancer cell compared to the healthy, that's what today I would like to discuss and understand how the cancer cell, if it is multitasker or better jugglers in comparison to the healthy cells or normal cell, it will impact the consequences inside the human body or inside the host body system where the cancer cells are present in the form of tumor organ, and or you can say particular tissue structure. Okay, so first question, that's what I would like to describe here. What if cancer cells are that is better multitasker over the normal healthy cells? Does it make any sense, right? If the cancer cells are multitasker in a tissue environment or in a organ system, does it make any sense? Does it make the outcome different? Like if I say cancer cells are tumor or cancer cells in a particular tumor types are more aggressive, more metastatic, more deadly, etc. Right now, so I'd like to understand in a very simple and convenient manner. So what we think, and there are many experimental evidences are there that cancer cells are known to have the active oncoproteins in comparison to the normal cell, correct? So these oncoproteins are believed to be better multitaskers in comparison to those normal proteins present in normal cells, right? For example, if I say CMYC or RAS protein or RAF protein or MAP kinase or any oncoprotein, if you take into account, so these abnormal protein or in the form of oncoproteins are better multitaskers. And due to this nature of the multitaskers, these oncoproteins are able to coordinate and perform various pro-cancer metabolic pathways, various cellular process in support of cancer cell, so that cancer cell will proliferate, grow rapidly, or you can say it will go for invasiveness, or it will go for metastasis and many more consequences. But in comparison to the, if you look at normal or healthy cells, proteins are there, right? There are 25 to 30,000 of protein are there as per the literature. So if the 30,000 proteins in our normal cell, they are doing definitely multiple tasks, no doubt. The whole question is whether the normal protein in normal cells are just multitasker. They are not abnormal multitask, right? So any protein, they have to perform several functions so that normal cell will expect to have the normal function like metabolic function, growth, proliferation, etc. But in case of, if you look at the cancer cells, these oncoprotein are better multitaskers. They are abnormal multitask right now. And that is why if you look at here, uh, this particular here, the GIF, this one, right? If you look at the GIF of the left panel, that is the fast analogous to cancer cell. So this GIF is very hugely multitasking, right? Now, it looks very fast, very abnormal, right? But if you look at the right panel, this GIF, here it's multitasking, no doubt, but it is normal, right? That is what the whole scenario is. Inside cancer cells, those oncoprotein, they are abnormally doing multitasking jobs so that, the cancer cells are able to achieve various hallmarks, including abnormal proliferation, or you can say uh, invasiveness or metastasis, and many more things. But in case of normal cells, the 25,000 of protein are performing various multitasking functions, but they are not abnormal, right? It's a slow in nature. And that is why I thought it's better to make a comparison whether the cancer cells with better multitaskers over the normal healthy cells where the proteins are multitasking, but to a limited in a normal way. Okay. Now the another very important question is in a chapter 2, or the idea 2, that is whether cancer cells, if you look at here, or whether cancer cells are better jugglers, right? Juggling. So like, if you understand a cancer cell or any normal cell, these cells are made up of chemical molecules, right now, like RNA, DNA, protein, lipids, carbohydrates, and many more. So these chemicals in the form of either molecules or macromolecules are interacting with each other, right? So one protein is interacting with another protein, one molecule is interacting with another molecule. So it's like a juggling of the chemical molecules or the biomolecules. So the whole explanation between the cancer cell and the healthy cell could be explained that cancer cells are better jugglers, right? They can juggle many things at the same time, like by connecting one protein to the another protein, by connecting one chemicals to the another chemical, by connecting one form of like primary messengers or the secondary messengers inside the cell with another protein. So that juggling of whole chemical and chemicals or the macromolecule, either in the form of RNA, DNA, or the protein, it makes normal cell to be super complex, right? No, better jugglers. But if you look at the comparison to the healthy and normal cells, definitely the normal cells are made up of various chemicals, molecules or the biomolecules like RNA, DNA, protein, lipids, but they are limited to an extent, right? They can juggle, they can interact with each other, but to an extent it is normal in the whole settings. But in case of cancer cells, it's a complex juggling, Abnormal juggling is happening inside the cancer cells. That is in the form of chemical juggling or molecular juggling that may create, the abnormal situations. That may create noises, that may create, something that not required for the tissue homeostasis, right? So if you look at once again the GIF here, look at in the left panel, it's analogous to the cancer cell, right? Can you look at the left panel juggling mode? It's quite abnormal, you know. It's multiple things are coming up. There's a fire and a lot of things are there. But if you look at the right panel, where the healthy cells are there, right? It's like just analogous. So healthy cell analogous juggling, you look at three walls, it's very balanced. It's a normal, it is a balanced juggling. But if you look at the left panel, it is abnormal, it is imbalance. You know, there is something disturbance is there. And that's what I thought. It is better to give a perspective that how cancer cells are better jugglers in comparison to the healthy cells in terms of molecular juggling, in terms of biomolecular juggling, right? So I believe that these two comparison will give a better perspective whenever we try to understand cancer cells compared to the normal cell, right? Thank you very much for listening, and I hope that at least you might have learned about what is the difference between cancer cell versus normal cell. Thank you very much.